Hello and welcome to Lucas Oil Stadium. I am Joel A. Erickson, Colts insider for the Indy Star. A wild one today. The Colts get to 2-0 for the first time since 2009 on a last-second field goal by Spencer Shrader. A field goal that he only got another chance at because of a leverage penalty on Denver that kind of bailed out Shane Steichen. I don't think Shane Steichen's, the way he managed the end of that was probably the right way to go. He was very worried about a kickoff. He didn't want a kickoff return for a chance to win the game. He didn't get enough yards. They were sitting at the 40. They ran the ball with Jonathan Taylor. They're trying to get a couple more yards. Even then, you're still looking at a 55-yard kick for a kicker who still, to this point, has not made a 50-plus yarder in the NFL. Turns out it doesn't matter. A guy pushed on Dalton Tucker. They called it. Probably made some Colts fans happy with some of the pass interference flags they didn't like in the first half. But it doesn't matter. The Colts are 2-0. All of the calls, all that stuff kind of goes away. The Colts are 2-0, and I think the biggest thing is Colts might have a quarterback, or at least one that can take advantage of defenses. This is a good defense. This is a great Denver defense. Pat Surtain, the corner, was the Defensive Player of the Year last year. They hit a bunch of throws on him. Jones over 300 yards passing. Alec Pierce down the sideline. 3 plays of more than 40 yards. Jones has been very, very good through the first 2 weeks, and after the first week, you thought, well, Miami's secondary isn't very good. Denver's secondary is. Denver's secondary is, and their pass rush is. And he was able to keep the offense moving and get it into the point where JT could close out the game. They've had some problems in the red zone, but honestly, throw that out the window. When was the last time this Colts team had 33 and 29 points in back-to-back games, largely because of the quarterback and the plays he's making? We'll see. Daniel Jones has had good stretches in New York. I don't think he's ever had 2 games where he passed the ball like this, especially when you consider that he went after Surtain a bunch today and also avoided pressure with the way he was throwing. For the Indy Star, I'm Joel A. Erickson, this Colts insider. Can't believe the Colts are 2-0, just being honest.
It's a day-by-day process. It's coming in the facility every day and just doing your best and trying to figure out ways that you can improve. It's him seeing me in environments where I succeed, but it's also him seeing me in environments where I fail and kind of how I handle that moving forward. And so you develop that trust, and that process starts obviously in OTAs and carries through training camp and then during the season. And at the end of the day, you always have to have trust in this game. You have to trust your teammates, trust your coaches, and I think that's a good day at the end of the day.
Spencer, how do you manage your emotions in a situation like that? And miss, then have to do it again. Just can you tell us about that, just managing your emotions there?
Yeah, so I was obviously trying to stay as calm as I could on the sideline and just thinking about, listen, God loves you no matter what. Just go out there and do your best for the team. Like, the more that you think about, the more that's going to get in your head. So just think about your process. And went out there and felt pretty comfortable. First kick, I felt the pressure coming from the other side of the ball, and I just felt like it just kind of got in my routine a little bit. And so I felt like that disappointment right after the kick. I kind of got hit after the play, so there was a lot of chaos going on. I saw the flag was thrown, and then it was like reset your mentality. You're getting another opportunity. Whatever happened to pass, you just got to flush it. You got to rethink about your mentality. It's keep your eyes down, follow through straight, and hopefully that thing goes through. I was able to do a good job of resetting in that instance and hitting a good kick for the team.
The second that goes through, just what goes through your mind? Celebrate with your team like that?
I don't know if anything did. I got swarmed so fast. I looked up, I saw it going through, and it was like bang. It's just joy. That's the only emotion that you're feeling after something like that.
To contribute to being 2-0 and be perfect through those 2 weeks, like what's that mean for you and your confidence in this team?
Confidence in your teammates and trust. Glad that I could perform my job for the team, and I feel that pressure. I want to perform for those guys, and so there's a feeling of relief and joy when you're able to do that. And then it's back to work and preparing for the next opportunity and developing the consistency to follow up that performance week after week.
Shane was trying to manage that situation, like, do I just run the clock down so that they don't get the ball back and all that? But it's also a long field goal. I don't know, did you kind of realize at some point, like, oh, this is going to be a long one?
So I always prepare like it's going to be. I prepare like the situation is going to be the hardest situation possible, and it can only get easier. And so I thought, like, all right, game winner, really long kick, get yourself in that mentality. And then I just trust the coaches to do their thing and do the management, because I don't know that much about football. So I just trust them to do their thing. And I'm like, they'll give me an opportunity, and then it's just my job to execute at the end of the day.
Is Will missing on the other end? Does that register, when you see the opposing kicker miss his chance to make an impact and just the reality of your situation?
Well, you feel for him. Obviously, you want all the guys to succeed, but you want to win at the end of the day. And so I didn't really feel anything with his miss. It was more so like, oh, now I know I'm getting an opportunity. I know that it's going to be coming down to me. So get my mind in the spot that I need to go out there and hit that kick.
When did the creep into your mind? Like, have a chance to possibly win this? Like when you can't get the turnover, or when you go out there and kick, like what is that represent?
I mean, just leading up to that kick, at some point, I just try to not get too engaged with the game and get too emotional about what's happening out there, but keep myself calm and at peace. But sort of leading up based on the communication from the coaches, and you can kind of tell they're setting you up for that kick. So you're getting in a mentality, but I try not to let the emotions of the game creep into my mentality too much.
Spencer, how has your journey, everything that you have navigated to get to this point, positioned you to handle whatever situation that you were going to be thrust into?
Well, I think about that a lot because you always feel anxiousness and you always feel pressure, and I'm not immune to that at all. I still feel that before every single game, and so you really have to trust the process that you've been through. You have to trust going all the way back to the soccer journey and tennis, and the kind of the skills and mentality that you develop through these different situations, that they're preparing you for a moment like that. And I still feel nerves. Going out there to kick, but you just have to trust that all the hard work that you've put in has gotten you to this point, and the Lord has a plan for you. He put me in that situation, and I believed in Him, and I trusted in Him, and I was able to execute. And even if I hadn't, I know that He would still love me, and I'd have another opportunity at some point moving forward. So just kind of always try to keep a positive framework and be ready for the next opportunity.
Are you going to?
He does it all the time. We've seen it in practice. He's been doing it. So no, I mean, I had full trust in him. I knew he's gonna drill it when he needs to, and he did, and it was awesome. I think I was with Daniel and Q on the sideline, just celebrating, and ran out to Spence and celebrated with him.
Just coming together as brothers, building that brotherhood, and just believing in each other. And I think when you go against a talented team like Denver, back and forth battle, it comes down to the team that's more close-knit, and it comes down to the team that makes one more play, and we were able to do that.
Okay, so you probably agree, maybe not the complete defensive performance of last week, but to make the plays you needed to make when you needed to make them. What's it say about the resiliency of this group? It's a gritty win.
Oh, no question. Like I told y'all this week, man, our defense got a lot of room to grow. And I think that was on tap a little bit this week, today. Obviously some mistakes that we made, myself included, all of us included. Things we all could be better at. And, we're going to get to the film on Monday and tell the truth and grow from it like we would if we won or lost. But today we celebrating the win. And, I think when you're playing a great defense like Denver, as long as you make one more play than them, that's all that matters.
First one, the miss was a flag. It's football. Football, you never know what's going to happen, especially being a part of these games. This is one of those games that I'll remember for the rest of my life. There's only probably one other game in my life that I'll always stick with. So this just got added to that list of just insane games that I've been a part of. So it was just cool to be able to watch, and shout out to Spencer for making that last kick. That's huge.
How do you describe that rush? It was a mob off the bench. Off the bench to get to your kicker.
Yeah, it was crazy. I lost track. I started looking at the crowd, trying to turn the crowd up. It was just insane. I got to Spencer probably a few minutes later, and he was still getting bombarded by people. So just the love that we have for each other on this team to lift each other up when they're down, because it was a rough game. It was not a pretty game at all on any. Well, offense did their thing. Defense for us, we had to be better. But the fact that they carried us through it, and we got the stops when we needed to, it was just a complete team win.
2 weeks, 2 interceptions, another great celebration.
Yeah, I'm going for 17 for 17. Yeah, that's the goal. One every game. I know it's perfect that blue. Yeah. There is no preparation for that. That was just one of those things I had in the back of my mind. Coincidentally, if blue is near me, I'm going to do that. So it was. I'm glad they didn't throw a flag, because I thought a certain amount of pumps would get me flagged, but they let me go, thankfully.
For this defense, obviously, you guys knew you would be without Mooney. You're without Leatu. What does it say about this group, the depth, the way that you guys were tested, your resilience? You found a way to pull that one out.
Yeah, the next man up mentality. Every single person that's on roster or people getting elevated from practice squad to be active, every single person is held to a standard that you're going to play, and you have to play well when you're in. So I think we were able to go out there and show that we can win games no matter who's playing, because we have such good depth and people that are focused throughout the week and preparing as if they're a starter. But like I said already, we didn't like the game that we had on defense for the most part. But there's a lot of things to fix. Shout out to Lou Anarumo, man. Everybody clap it up.
Was there part of you that thought you lost the game? And how quickly do you have to recalibrate? Oh, wait a second, we didn't lose. We have one more chance.
It was weird. I wish I was mic'd up this game. I'm going to sound like LeBron when it says he predicts everything. But I was talking to 2 of my teammates, and I was like, watch there either be an offsides or some type of flag that's going to get us. They're going to blow it. I said, the other team's going to blow it right now. and it was just crazy that it actually happened. So it was weird for me to not be surprised that we got a second chance at that kick, but it was just a crazy way. I've been a part of so many crazy games like this, but this is top 2 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, today was a scrappy win, and I thought that everybody just hung tight, and we played it out, and we played hard for all 4 quarters, and we were fortunate enough to come out with the win. We had we had a lot of big plays. We hopped on the JT train today, so I mean, like, it was just a great game.
I'll open up. Great, gutsy, gritty team win. Talked to those guys at halftime in the locker room. Hey, this second half, we got to go win it in the fourth quarter. And got the takeaway by Cam. I thought, the offensive line gave Daniel protection. Obviously going for over 300 yards there. JT ran hard on the ground. Great performance. Some things to clean up. But to get 2 back-to-back wins at home in front of our home crowd, the atmosphere out there was electric. Crowd showed up. It was awesome. We got to go do it again every week. So we got a division game coming up, but great win for our team today. Yeah, well, we were in field goal range there, felt good about it, and then on that third down, obviously we went backwards there on that one. But yeah, I mean, that's football sometimes. Obviously, yeah, we got the penalty that helped us out and found a way to win it there. Yeah, because, I don't want to get into it, but yes. Yeah, I don't want any time left on that clock.
Daniel thrown for over 300 against a really good Broncos defense. What did he do well?
I thought he was efficient, taking his reads, going through his progressions. The ball placement was good again. I don't know what he completed. What was he today? 25 of 34, 107 QB rating, 1 touchdown. Like I said, I think the O-line did a hell of a job. I thought all the receivers did a nice job. Tyler Warren did a nice job. It was just efficient all around.
It's never an ideal situation, but kind of what was the thought process at the end? That's not what you want, right? What were you weighing there?
I guess I'll get into it. Whatever is the kickoff there at the end, you know what I mean? You don't want to let them get a return there. That's why. And then obviously you kick it out. I mean, obviously we saw a situation that happened already in the league with it. So.
Shane, you're kind of out of breath. What was it like in that locker room? What are the emotions that are going through your head right now?
It's electric in there right now. Obviously, to win a game like that, Spence did a hell of a job. Obviously finishing it there with the kick. Like I said, we wanted to be in great physical shape coming into this season and create an edge and win games in fourth quarter. And we found a way to do it. And credit to the guys in that locker room. Credit to every coach, the coordinators, the assistant coaches, the training room, everybody. It was just a huge win to get one at home again. It's discipline and laser focus going into it again next week. But in the fourth quarter like that, it's focus on the controllable things that you can control. Obviously, we had a lot of penalties in that game that we got to eliminate that could have hurt us, obviously, there. So we got to get that cleaned up. That'll be addressed tomorrow in the team meeting. But, yeah, we got to stay disciplined. I just came off the bench, and I was upset, and that was part of it, and I got to be smarter.
Is this a different performance for Daniel? Because last week in the year today, it's a different sort of
Yeah.
today. You're tucked behind more contested throws.
Yeah, tighter coverage, obviously. These guys match a lot of things up. They got good cover guys, and they bring pressure and stuff. But, again, he was just battling back and forth like crazy. It was a back-and-forth game. And, obviously, at the end, when we needed it, we came up, and JT hit some big runs there at the end. It was just a great performance by everybody.
Do you learn more about quarterback in a game like that?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to go win a game there, and you go down and get us in field goal range like that to go win it. But I thought he was good all around, all day, doing everything, taking the checkdowns when they were there, had some shots up, hit one to Alec, obviously, a big play there. But I thought it was efficient overall. Oh, yeah, that was huge. That's a big momentum swing when you get the takeaways like that. Hell of a play by him. I thought he didn't get touched at first from the sideline. I'm like, get up and go. What do we? And they're like, no, he's touched. I'm like, all right, we're good. But it was a hell of a play by him. Obviously, he brings great energy every single day to the practice field on game day, and he works his tail off. He's out doing extra all the time, jugs, machine, you name it. And obviously, he's got 2 picks already this season, so it's big.
In some big moments in this game, kind of got after Surtain
Yeah, it was huge. That was, one of the things we talked about this week. We know he's a hell of a football player, and when we get one-on-one matchups with him, we got to win them, when we get our opportunity. And I thought Pitt had a good one against him as well, too. I got a ton of respect for him. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the league right now. So a ton of respect there, but I thought our guys stepped up to the challenge for sure.
Spencer's perfect through 2 games, and he started 2 games. What have you seen of him and just the growth over the summer?
I think he has a calmness about him. You know what I mean? I really do. So he's just got a happy-go-lucky guy. Nothing really phases him. Even in that situation, you could tell he was calm, cool, collective when he got a second opportunity there. But it was awesome to see. Yeah. Well, we got to look at it. We got to go back and look at some things. They brought some pressures there a little bit. But, yeah, we got to get some of that stuff cleaned up. Obviously, we're scoring points, but we got to score. Those are 4-point plays. So that starts with myself, and we got to be better there.
When they bring pressure in the red zone, does it make it harder for Daniel to get it out to the special room for the hot receivers?
Yeah, sometimes, depending on what it is. Yeah, for sure.
What about JT's performance today made him such a difference maker?
I think, he had that big run there. That was huge. He ran tough. He ran physical. He ran downhill. We had some inside zone stuff up, some trap plays. I thought the offensive line did a nice job for him, too. But even when they brought some, unique pressures inside, he was able to squirt through and pop through and get yards. And that's the player he is. That's his consistency that he's brought to this organization for a long time. So just a hell of a performance by him and the guys up front.
Last one for the first time since 2009, almost 500 yards of offense today. How important is it to feel about the start of the season?
Yeah, you got to continue to build. Like I said, it comes down to the discipline. We got to be disciplined in our approach next week. A division game on the road. We got to lock in, enjoy it tonight for whatever couple hours, go to bed, and come back tomorrow, put the game to bed, and move on to Tennessee. Like I said, it comes down to discipline and focus.
All right, he's jacked up too.
First of all, have you ever been involved in anything like that?
I don't know about quite like that. But yeah, it was exciting. Big time kick there by Spence, and good job by the guys up front. We got it down in there. Alec ran a big time route on the shallow, created some separation, and then big time kick.
They played tight coverage today. You guys challenged them and won a lot of those matchups. What allowed you guys to have that success?
We got a lot of confidence in our guys and our guys to win in a lot of those matchups, and they did. It's a good secondary. We talked throughout the week. It's a good secondary. It's a good front. It's a good defense. We were confident with our guys going in that we'd stack up well. I think in a game like that, you're going to have some good, some bad, but you kind of just keep going, play the next play, and we won a lot of those situations today, and it was good to see.
How long has it been since you have felt this comfortable?
I don't know. I think I don't know how much time I've spent comparing it to times in the past or different situations I've been in, but I feel confident, and there's a great energy about our team. I think about our offense, about our group. I think we're executing at a high level. I think there's still things we need to do better. I think you look at some of the red zone stuff today, and things we can sharpen up down there. Things I can sharpen up for sure. But yeah, I think collectively as a group, we're confident about what we can be, and we know that we're still growing and developing.
What do you think have been some of the issues in the red zone?
I think a number of things. A lot of that is, on me. I gotta hit the open guy when we have an open guy. Gotta recognize certain looks and pressures and make sure we're in the right play. You only get so many shots at it down there, and you got to convert when you have them. So, I think it's been a number of things, but I know I can do a better job.
Dan, did you all think you had lost the game? And I guess how quickly you have to kind of recalibrate, like, oh, wait a second, there's a penalty that
change for us? I don't know. I guess you saw him miss the kick, so it's like, for a second, you're like, we didn't win, but pretty quickly everyone was saying it was on them, so you go back to that. But I don't know. I guess once the penalty's on them, game's still good, and we have a lot of confidence in the Spence.
This is the first time the Colts have been 2-0 since 2009. What does a start like this do for a team's confidence moving
Yeah, I think it does a lot for our confidence, for sure. I think we've had that, internally as a group. I think we've felt, throughout training camp, through kind of last week and beginning of the season, we felt like we're a good offense, can play with anybody, and we gotta keep building on it. I think, last week we played well, but we were right back to work. After that, and had a good week of practice. I think we'll have the same mindset this week. We know there's things to clean up and tighten up if we're going to be the group we're capable of being.
Well, I mean, I think I know what you'll say, but like, there were some doubts, but let's be honest, man. Like, you don't know how this is going to play out. Tight quarterback competition. Is there any sort of rewarding feeling for what you've been able to do for the first 2 weeks?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit for sure. I think, like I've said, I think you try to block it out. You don't seek it out, but you know what people are saying, and you know what the narrative is in a lot of situations. So yeah, a little bit of that. But I think I've realized, and I think I said this last week. I've played a few years now, and 1 game, 2 games, don't make a season. It's a long season, and you got to be able to sustain that. So, I think for me personally, that's got to be the mindset, and I think for our group, that's got to be the mindset.
Shane was using words like gutsy win, gritty win. What characteristics do you think a team needs, just in general, to come back in the fourth quarter like you guys did today?
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of mental toughness, competitive stamina to be able to hang in there and kind of go back and forth, keep battling. Like I said earlier, there was a lot of good, but there was some stuff we didn't do well too, and it's being able to bounce back from those situations and handle the next play, be ready for what's next. And I thought as a group we did that.
How did Bynum put you on position to get that win? I know we talked about the kick at the end, but the pick set you all up for the game.
Yeah, pick was huge for sure. That was huge play in the game, and it's his second one now. He's a good player for sure, smart player, and huge player there at the end.
You guys have gone in 2 completely different ways. Going through the kind of adversity of a win like today, what does that do for you guys, like the camaraderie of the team, having kind of those shared experiences that are coming out on the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think going through that and kind of knowing, this is the NFL. Most games are like that, and you're going to be battling. It's going to be a 1-score game. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, 1 or 2 drives, and or do you convert or do you not? And I think, proving to each other that we can do that and perform in those situations is critical for us down the road.
JT had over 200 yards today. How special was it to watch what he was able to do?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, he did a tremendous job. Made some big plays in the pass game, and then, ran the crap out of the ball. He did a really good job, like he always does, and was huge for us. And the guys up front played well, against a good front.
60+ points. I mean, the first 2 weeks, what's the offense felt looking like in Tennessee now? Are you feeling confident now?
Yeah, I haven't obviously looked at any Tennessee stuff. We'll start on that tomorrow. We're going to enjoy, this tonight, and then get back to work and see where we can, what we can clean up and what we need to do going into this week. But divisional game, it'll be a big game, and we'll have to bring our best.